Okay, here is a data table example for graphing 3 lines using Microsoft Excel. Okay, this is on a Macintosh. The PC is a little bit different, but the options are still there. So pay very close attention to how I set up the data tables. There's one column here under A for your X. These are your average times. Average times for the first 3 trials, average times for the second 3 trials, average times for the third 3 trials. And there are 3 additional columns. The first column is for the 0.5 Newton, force. So for example, this is the graph that you would graph for different newtons of force on the same mass cart. Okay, this column is for 1 Newton, this column is for 1.5 newtons. So 1 X column and 3 Y columns. Okay, and notice how I've staggered them. In this column, these Y values here go with these X values, but we can't put them in the same column. These X values go with these Y values. Again, we have to move them one column over. So you have to set up your data table in this way. It's much easier. By putting the 0.5 Newton, 1 Newton, and 1.5 Newton at the top, this is what is going to automatically label your lines. When you're ready to graph, you simply click in the square and highlight all of the data. Okay, and then on the Macintosh, it's going to be charts. On the PC, it's going to be insert, and you'll see scatter plot. So scatter plot, and I'm going to choose the one that shows the points but with the curved lines, smooth, marked scatter. And there it is. It will generate the graph for you, and there are your parabola graphs, and there are the labels already set. The last thing to do is, if you come up here, if you notice, and on the PC you'll see this, there are several ways to organize your graph. Pick this one that has the legend, the title, and the axes titles. If I click that, it allows you to change the titles and the axis labels. All I have to do is click it, and I highlight it, and then I come up here and say Force Lab Graph 1, and it will change the title, and the same thing for the axes titles. All right. Now, if you wish to make a screenshot image of your graph to use in your lab report, make sure that you make it large. You'll have to move it around. Okay. Make sure you make it large before you take a screenshot, because if you make it small and try to enlarge it on your lab, it gets all fuzzy. If you make it large and then shrink it on your lab, it maintains its crisp, nice focus. Okay, so that's how to graph your lines using Excel. Again, pay very close attention to how you set up the data table, and then the graphing is very, very easy.